And an absolute mess unraveled itself this past weekend as Dream finally admitted to cheating in a Minecraft speed run. One of the biggest stories, I would say, 6 months ago, and now finally posting a Pastebin response. Got to let you all know that Pastebin, apparently, according to Dream, has now been removed by Pastebin staff or by a massive number of reports on it as well. It was a whirlwind to read through before it all did get taken down. I got a brief TLDR for you guys of what was discussed in that post, of which he does technically admit to cheating, but also calls it unintentional cheating, which is a whole thing to dive into. But it's beginning to be with this story, you kind of just feel for both sides, right? The way he handled this case sucked. It was really, really bad to watch it unravel, but you also try your best to understand what it's like to have likely thousands, if not tens of thousands of Minecraft stans pressuring you from all sides. That part makes me feel bad. I don't like how he handled any part of this situation, but I am still left feeling bad at the end of the day. A brief TLDR, he does eventually admit to cheating and also does say sorry, but also calls it unintentional, as he apparently had not realized the increased drop rate plugin was enabled during his speedruns that had been used for other content. He also apologizes to the Minecraft mod team for dragging them through the mud, despite also in the same post calling them extremely unprofessional at times and mostly right in their findings. And what was also explained at great length in this Pastebin was how the situation really unraveled, in which he truly believed he was innocent and was so focused on proving his innocence that he, according to his own word, never explored the possibility that he actually had cheated, and concludes on the entire situation saying it was crappy overall, wishing he could do things differently, and saying sorry yet again, and also to not pass any hate or harassment towards the mod team and others involved in the investigation against him, which unfortunately it seems that doesn't work with his crazy stands. Am I going to regret saying that? I don't know. Maybe. But all in all, it's just, it's a bit hard not to be angry at the response to the situation, but I also can't imagine how I would handle the situation as well. So I know you guys can have your own thoughts and opinions on this one. I didn't really enjoy the fact he kind of tried to play victim after all of this. After everything that's been done, I truly think if he would have just said, "I'm sorry, I cheated, let's move on," would have been a better post than this was. So I'm kind of glad it got taken down by whoever, because this was doing nobody any good whatsoever. It was actually Slasher taking to Twitter with one of the more frequented and upvoted Reddit comments that kind of explains the situation from one perspective. As it says, blatantly cheat with a mod, get called out, deny cheating, get called out by math professionals, deny cheating with a fake professional mathematician, get called out so hard by real mathematicians that fake mathematician bails out, continue cheating denial, and then have an epiphany during a bathtub session and write up a huge Pastebin playing victim and saying it was all an accident, begging for the approval of his herd of sheep that will support him anyway. The dude is spineless. And the flip side of that, someone I always enjoy his insight on these very controversial matters, because it's always a different perspective that I haven't really thought of. That being Osmond Gold, also taking to Twitter in response to this with a few posts of his own. As he says, I mean, after reading the apology, he admitted fault in a half a dozen different ways and that the run was illegitimate. Even though he did kind of play victim, he probably had millions of people trying to expose him or talk crap about him. I think that would F with anyone's head. Even further, he adds, yeah, exactly. Getting pushed like that by so many people would send almost anyone into defense mode. Regardless of the reason, if you look at him as a person rather than an entity, it makes sense for him to act the way he did. So there you have it. Apparently, Dream will be posting an official statement at some point later on. He is now taken to Twitter himself to more discuss the issue at hand, also explaining why he did remove the Pastebin. And I would say a bit of fluff. You know, it wasn't too much there. Honestly, if you're going to come out and you don't want to stir up more drama, this was a pretty poor showing of doing so. I would never advise anyone out there after 6 months of being accused the way he was, and again, probably under a lot of pressure, to sit down in a bathtub and write all of this out. Which, by the way, doing in a bathtub, there was like 55 different lines. The document was pretty freaking long, so it must have been a nice bathtub session, but not nice enough. I still really do not enjoy the way he handled the entire situation. As he said, the entire situation was crappy overall for all sides, which is likely very true for the mod team and people involved in the investigation against him. I truly think, I mean, if you don't want to stir anything up, just say I'm sorry, say I cheated. Don't try and play victim, and then everyone will move on. Like in today's day and age, you guys know the amount of stories we talk about that we never talk about again because something happens 24 hours later. Just say it, move on. You got a diehard fan base that loves you no matter what you do. That's very clear. And boom, there we are. It's a crazy situation, that's for sure. And I'm just left feeling sad about it. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. All right, take a big old drink for me, and I'll see you back here sometime soon. Until then, okay, bye.